Apocalypse Now. Again.
Part D.
Pot. What's happening, guys? Oh, we're back. We're back. We're going to talk about this conclusion of this crazy little story about Darkseid coming to Metropolis and taking on Superman. And holy Lord.
Oh, yes. Now, I remember part 2 as well as I thought I did. Not going to
Oh,
lie.
good.
Yes.
I remember, I remember certain things. Certain things were, but I know you did message me saying like, "Oh, you might have to like pause," and
You're not my two. We're going to be pausing. We're going to be rewinding. If we were if we were in like some sort of CSI video, it'd be like enhance, enhance, enhance.
enhance. Yeah, I definitely did not remember that part so much. Where I was like, "Oh, this is what he's talking about." But yeah, there are definitely certain things that I did remember because we kind of like teased it last week. But yeah,
Mhm.
and when it happens, you're like, "Oh, fuck." Anyways,
Yeah.
we
Oh, yeah.
won't get
Oh,
into
yeah.
it too much, but until we get there. But man, here we are again with Apocalypse Now part. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I keep on laughing because I think of Hot Shots part D.
Yes.
And there was a tweet that I sent out earlier today, like 2 or 3 hours ago, that unfortunately, in a very dark way, reminds me of Hot Shots Part 2. So I'm just kind of laughing right
Well, I
now.
even said that on tonight's stream. Like the reason why that I use that is because of Hot Shots. It's
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
yeah. Anytime
But
there's a
yeah,
part two, I'm like, I have to say it like that.
yeah, but mine is because one of my children today burned his nipple with popcorn butter. So
Okay, I saw you tweet that, and wow.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Only a child of mine would do that, right?
How did that come to be?
I had to ask. I was like, okay, I need the story now. So apparently eating the popcorn, likes to suck on it's microwave popcorn. So, there's always those
Yeah.
seeds in the bottom of the bag that never like completely pop. So apparently he likes to eat and then like suck on some of those seeds. Well, some seeds fell out of the bag onto a chair and he wasn't paying attention and he jumped on the chair and saw the hot butter that was on top of the seeds. Like he jumped on top of the seed and it burned his nipple.
It's just so crazy how it got that part. Would have been just like a random spot, but no, it actually got the nip.
Yeah, well, it happens when, you have boys and they if you get them in underwear, that's great, but that's about as much as clothing as you can get on them. But, if you're not leaving the house, I mean, there are literally the conversation happens in our house enough times that just like, would you just please put a shirt on? I'm just asking. I'm asking for a shirt. Like that. That's all I need. So no, he was running around in his underwear as he is wont to do, and then jumped on some hot, buttery popcorn seeds and burned his nipple.
That's
So
hilarious.
ah,
Yeah, I mean,
we were
that's one of those
laughing
things.
so hard.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm sure. I mean, how do
So
you not laugh at that? Yeah, when you're a kid, it's like, yeah, you don't want you're like, "No, no clothes, no clothes." Then you get to that point where it's like, "No, I have to have clothes, clothes." Have
and
to
then you get to the
style
point again where you're like, no clothes.
exactly. And then I'm like I would say, like, then you get to a point where like, "Anybody here? No? All right." It's like it's just one of those where, you just like either want to sit in your underwear or full on.
I kind of have to have the underwear. Not gonna lie, my wife
Yeah,
hates it. My
if you're
wife hates
sitting
it
on
just
your
so much.
furniture, you should be,
You should be. Let's not gonna lie.
you should have something that is, a barrier. There's got to be a barrier because it's
Yeah,
like, you have people that are going to be showing up. I'm not saying it has to be like every little time, but I'm saying most of the time, yeah, if you're
but
sitting around,
you get out of the shower. You want to air dry a little bit. Not gonna
also,
lie.
hey, walking around, doing all that, hey, there's the, whatever, man.
Well, we got real personal in this episode. I'm about to
We
say.
did talking about
Uh,
nudity right on the top of this episode, but
well, let's talk about the because already this episode is going to get us very emotional.
oh
Not gonna
yeah,
lie.
there's some
So,
emotional things that happen in this episode, and it's a very intense episode. It's like one of those like anytime that we've talked about two-parters, and I think we actually talked a little bit last week was which one we always like which one's better, and I think we kind of agreed that it's part two.
oh, part two is so much better.
It's like part one, a good starting off point, good base of like what is to come. And yeah, and then it's just like, all right, here we go. We just set it up. Now it's going to be full on. Darkseid's going to be showing up, and there's going to be some intense action that's going to be happening. I mean, to the point where it's like, man, Superman might need the Justice League, and he gets help.
He gets help, but we don't have a Justice League yet.
We don't. We only have Batman and the Flash. What are they doing? So
seriously, Batman, come on.
Yeah, where's that Batwing? Yeah, I know. Kind of makes you wonder. And then, and then that's what's so funny too is like, since we've been watching these episodes, we already know. I mean, obviously, we know there's a Batman. There's already been the crossover, and then there's been the Flash. Yeah, it kind of makes you just kind of wonder, like, where are these guys right now? Are they just kind of like? But then I don't know. You can't look at everything through the lens of that. I think nowadays with the movies and the Avengers and everything is like everybody goes like, well, Iron Man is fighting this guy. Where's Thor? Where's Captain America? And I hate that because it's like, if you've been reading comic books for like the past like 3
their
decades,
solo series, and you want to go, where's everybody?
No, you can't do that. I mean, every now and again, you're going to get a story that's going to be like this worldwide crazy thing that's going to happen, but we don't need the whole crew to show up. It's all about the one hero that's going to be taken on this.
And this is Superman's story in this episode. My God.
This is his biggest challenge yet.
Yes, it is. Not going to lie. Like, this is an episode that makes you go, dude, like they went for, like I said, this was originally supposed to be the season 2 finale before they got the special 2-episode extension. But that being said, we're at the tail end of season 2 of Superman the Animated Series. I mean, and this is like what I also love. If you do look to the future, this episode sets up so much character motivation for Superman, literally going to the last episode of the DC animated universe. Like like this begins things that just continue to build and build and build, which is once again the beauty of the DCAU, is that we talked about with like Ghost of the Machine, like there's these little episodes at the time were just little one-off things, but then because you had the same creators making all these multiple shows and they stayed in a continuity, like stuff just got paid off over and over and over again.
Oh yeah, that's what's great. And this episode starts off, I mean, obviously it's just going to get right into it. We already saw that what happened with Mannheim and the whole nuclear plant. And
yeah, Mannheim, he bye-bye.
Yeah, there's no Mannheim in this, so it's like it's pretty much confirmed that he didn't make it out.
No, I'm sorry. When you saw the blast radius take the boat out, and it's a nuclear power plant going critical, it's like, oh no.
Yeah, he got vaporized. Probably
he is gone.
Yeah, he's gone, and now we got this little like what they call the hot zone. That they're looking at. Hamilton's looking at it, and they're trying to look at it, and I loved it too. And like they're just saying like, oh yeah, it's it's basically what happened with that. It's like now it's digging to the core, and if it gets to the core, what will happen? Well, that's going to cause a lot of eruptions, and then it shows Earth with a bunch of, and it's like, oh, what is
fire
that?
Fire pits.
Yeah, a lot of fire pits coming. Yeah, what does that kind of look like? And I like how Superman's like, oh, we've seen that before. You've seen that before. That's Apokolips. And then of course they do that cool little transition to Apokolips, and then you see like the preparation of like, oh yeah, they're about ready to fuck some shit up.
Oh yeah, we got some parademons. We got Kalibak talking to Darkseid. Kalibak's all like, I will defeat him this time, Father.
And Darkseid was like not having it.
No, Darkseid's like, after your ignominious disappointment,
I know. Want you using those big words.
Using those big. Oh, dude.
Kalibak was like, what?
And oh my God, and Darkseid, his vocabulary was quite robust in this episode. Not gonna lie,
I will say, yes. absolutely. But I
Yeah,
mean, the way that Mr. Ironside, says them is fucking always
it's
great.
dope. It's so dope.
Yeah, it's so
And
good.
we get our first appearance of a new character in this episode.
Yay! Who's showing up? Oh, we know him from Zack Snyder's Justice League, folks.
It's Steppenwolf, not looking like
Yeah.
a spiky motherfucker,
No.
but this is how Steppenwolf looks in the comics.
Yeah.
So
Very human looking. It's got the goatee. It's got the
got
facial
kind of the
hair.
weird little
Yeah.
hat thing going on. Um,
Rides a little kind of like cosmic motorbike, almost like what's his name?
Lobo,
Yeah, a little bit, but nobody obviously, not
not a
as crazy.
hog.
Not
It's
a hog.
not a hog.
No,
No.
but he rides something.
Okay. Fun thing here.
Okay.
Steppenwolf's voice. Did you recognize it?
I did not.
Okay. Here's an interesting tidbit.
Okay.
Uncredited. You go to the end credits. His voice, the actor is not named.
They did not name him?
Nope.
Why? I wonder. Okay, you're gonna tell me.
Well, I don't know if there was a reason why. I probably just because he has so few lines and there were just so many other characters. But no, uncredited in the end credits. But it's Sherman Howard.
Sherman Howard. That sounds familiar. Who is that?
Okay. Here's why. Lots of DC connections happening here.
Okay.
He was Lex Luthor in the Superboy TV show.
Oh, wow.
Yes, you remember that show?
I do remember that show. I don't remember any episodes or anything, but I remember the show.
Yeah. Not only did he play Lex Luthor in Superboy, we're going to see him again. Or
Oh,
hear him again, I should say.
yeah.
You want to know why?
Okay.
He's Derek Powers in Batman Beyond.
I was about to say it's something Batman Beyond. I was just thinking that. I was like, it's got to be something Batman Beyond.
He's Blight. Yeah, he's
Oh,
the voice,
wow.
which I think is
Okay.
amazing. And we'll get to this when we talk about Batman Beyond, but I just have
Of
to
course.
sit in it for right now. But the idea that you took a Lex Luthor and you make him the voice of Derek Powers, which was basically a Lex Luthor for Terry McGinnis.
Yeah, that does. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so it worked. Like that's funny because I wasn't even thinking about voices. I was like, I didn't really recognize that. I mean, obviously, he's not like somebody that's like. It's not like Calibac, which we all know who.
It's Michael Dorn.
Yeah,
Dorn. We've talked
yeah,
about that.
yeah.
Which once again, good on Michael Dorn for getting two characters in this
Right.
season. He gets Calibac and John Henry Irons.
I mean,
So
jeez, guys, Kelman, he's got that voice. You can't. You have to
yes,
utilize it if you're gonna trade. If you're gonna lock him down, like, hey, can you also,
well, and you better believe Andrea Romano is thinking that way. She's like, Michael,
because she's so awesome at
so
casting.
God.
So good. Anyways, so we got to, of course we got, Darkseid just kind of give Callie back like, hey, you're gonna stand next to me. You're gonna stand next to me, buddy, when this is all going down. And then I love it too because I was like, oh yeah, GIF moment, because when I see people use the Darkseid GIF, they use that close up that we see in this episode where his eyes, of course, like fiery up.
Fiery eyes, yes.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh man, how many times have I seen that GIF on my timeline? So many times. I mean, especially when the whole Zack Snyder Justice League thing was coming out and Darkseid things were coming out. So many people use that, and I still see it to this day. And I'm like, oh, there's a GIF moment right there, and that's why I even wrote my notes.
It's so
yeah.
good.
Yeah, and then of course we got Turpin. Turpin's
Dude.
back.
Yeah.
Turpin, he's such an all-star in this episode. He's such a badass.
He is such a bad, but of course, let's remind everyone, if you don't remember, when I blew Dave's mind when Turpin first showed up on Superman the Animated Series, because you were all like, oh, but this is funny. Declan even was like, Declan watched, I think, part 1 with me, and he was all like, man, those are some crazy eyebrows. I went, there's a reason for that, son. And I literally pulled up the picture of Jack Kirby to be like, here's who
no idea that he was based off Jack Kirby.
I know. It's great. So I think this episode, because this is, once again, this is so full of Fourth World and Kirby's New Gods and it really gives you this opportunity to let Turpin, which when you know that Turpin's character model is based on, what Jack Kirby looked like, seeing Turpin get to be this everyman hero throughout this episode, that his kick ass and take names mentality serves him really well, because he's out there helping saving the citizens of Metropolis from a freaking apocalyptic invasion.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
there's almost like no reason that the Metropolis MCU should be doing as well as they are in this episode. But it's just a plucky spirit and Turpin's like, kick-ass attitude, and suddenly we can fight some freaking parademons.
Fight some parademons, and he's telling Superman, hey, shouldn't it be time to page your friend? And then, of course, at the end of part one, we saw that Orion gave Superman a little
A new
pager,
God's beeper.
yeah, pretty much. But sadly, when things happened at the end of the last episode, it fried that piece of technology. So he was like, and I like how Superman was just like, "Yep, fried," and he just he just smashes it. He could have just tossed it into a wastebasket, but
No, we have to have the
you got to make it
dramatic Superman,
dramatic.
like, get the
Yeah.
crushing with the one hand deal.
Gotta
Yeah.
crush it, and he's just like, you got to make it dramatic, so yeah, so sadly he cannot contact Orion. And then, of course, and then now we get Superman flying through Metropolis, as he does, and then all of a sudden, here comes the boom tube, and who's coming?
Oh, it's Steppenwolf with not exactly an electro axe, more like an electro sword, but
Yeah.
still, like, same general. I mean, he's still shooting lightning out of it, and he's swinging it, and he's kind of a badass. Not gonna,
Yeah.
yeah. He comes in, he's got some parademons around him, and they the fisticuffs. And that's the hard thing is going to be kind of talking about some of this episode, as we've run into before. This is such a very action heavy episode that's kind of hard to talk about it without then just sort of devolving into some sort of like blow by blow, because
Yeah.
there's just so much just fight. It's like Superman fights Steppenwolf, Superman fights parademons, Superman gets his ass kicked by
I know,
Darkseid.
but it's like we could only just talk about little things, like we got Lois and Superman, or Lois and Superman, Lois and Jimmy are very much in this episode, so we have them at least like showing that. And then, of course, they're stuck in traffic, and it's kind of cool because we already saw what was happening, and Superman's like, all right, I got to take on all these parademons. So then you got people stuck in traffic, and then specifically them, a parademon just lands on Lois's car.
Right. And now, isn't it before this, before Steppenwolf's boom tube opens up, isn't that when Superman goes over to where Ayers Island was, and he like did all the like the drilling the hole and like flooding the pit so that we don't I
Trying to look at my notes here.
I was about to say, I think that has to
No,
does that not already happened
no, it
before
doesn't happen.
Steppenwolf?
Not
Okay.
according to my notes. Like,
Okay.
it seems like that would be the case, but I mean, it's just like, yeah, he takes on Steppenwolf before all of that, before he
Okay.
does that. Yeah, because I mean, unless I was like remembering it wrong, but I don't think so, because I was like, because I have my notes right here, and it seems like that would be the
Well, I
case.
trust your notes because you do a
Yeah,
very good job.
yeah,
You're very good at making sure that we keep like an outline structure of the episode, where
yeah.
my
We
notes
go in
tend to be
order,
more the
like
cool.
bullet points.
Yeah, mine's more like the cool trivia and like
Yeah.
the minutia that I'm like,
No,
this is what I'm here for.
yeah. So, because what happens is, obviously that's, we got Steppenwolf that comes in, and Superman, obviously fight him. And then they fire like these, crazy missiles that create like this electronic like net.
Electronet kind of deal. Yeah.
It, like takes him out, or like, takes him down, and he falls in. Doesn't fall into the river. I almost thought, is he falling in? Because like I was like writing notes. I'm like, did he fall into the river that we always talk about, that everything goes? Like, no, he fell into a fountain. He fell into a fountain. And I think because he falls into the fountain, he creates a hole where the water drains into the hole. So he got the idea.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so we got the idea because I was like, "Oh," because and like, because obviously what he does to, the hot zone, how he cools that down is using, obviously doing something like that. So I was like, "Oh," like when he started doing that, it like hit me. I was like, "Oh." So when he got nailed by that missile thing, net thing, he hit the fountain and it created a hole and all the water like went into the hole, and I'm like, oh, there it is right there. So yeah, we're in the right order of things right there. But yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, that happens, fall in the fountain, and then of course, we got Lois and Jimmy, they show up, and then like Steppenwolf is like basically just like, okay, so let's it's time to, now to the kill. I like that
Yes.
line that he says, now to the kill. And then, of course, the parademons swarm Superman. But then, of course, we have Turpin that's just showing up in this attack helicopter that's just like firing missiles. And it's like, all right, there you go. There's Turpin right there. Just like, I mean, does he need to be up there? No, but why not?
But dude, when those parademons like swarm
Yeah.
Superman, that was some freaky shit. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I
They're
mean, 'cause
biting his neck and shit. Like, I mean,
yes,
yeah.
yes, and we're getting red skies, and that's weird in Metropolis. Like, we're used to red skies in Gotham, but like,
Yeah. I mean, they really wanted to emphasize the fact that, I mean, we get some red orange skies that are happening. It's
yes,
very just like, just to show you that, like, shit's going down, because yeah, Metropolis usually blue skies. It's all about the future and all that
blue
aesthetic.
skies shining on me,
Yeah,
nothing but blue skies do I see.
but not today.
Not today.
Not today for sure. So yeah, they swarm him, and then of course and then of course you have like some of these Metropolis, police guys that are with the armor stuff. They have some technology. They have laser technology. They're taking out some parademons. So it's all working out. It's all working out, and
Yeah,
that's when
let's be
Superman
honest, the Metropolis Police Department's armed like they're the frickin' National Guard.
pretty much.
Like,
And that's when Superman goes out to the hot zone. This is where he's like,
got
all
it,
right.
okay,
And then he
okay.
goes out and he's like, all right, after seeing like after the whole fountain thing, he goes, all right. So he starts doing his tornado thing and starts
Still love
drilling.
the fact that when you see him do that, though, he comes up and he goes, because
Yeah,
remember, when he has to go underwater, he has to be wearing, like, a scuba suit, kinda sound like when he goes into
yeah,
space, he needs a space suit, so, like, he has to, like,
exactly.
hold his breath because this is that, post-crisis, depowered Superman where picking up a truck, he has to go, "Ugh," it's
He struggles.
he
He,
struggles,
he
yes.
definitely struggles, and that's what's great about the animated series is the fact that they show that. And they show that it's like, yeah, he's got to like we have
Ooh,
to emphasize, yes, do all
ooh.
that. You have to emphasize with it. So yeah, he starts digging the holes to, bring the water into this hot zone that's digging into the core, and then it cools it off, and it's like, all right, cool. And then,
Was
but
that a
then again,
pun? But cool,
yeah, cool.
cool.
But see, this is the thing though. It's like we see Superman after he does all that and after he's taken on the parademons and all that stuff, he like, shows up like on like to like a cliff or something like that,
Which we've
off the
seen
water.
before, like,
Yes.
I remember these mountains from, like, the Luminous episode
Yeah.
when it's like the satellites are filtering just the red sunlight. Because remember, he went to those mountains to, like, test out his strength. So, like, it's been established geographically that there is, like, a mountain range just outside of, Metropolis. So,
Yeah. So we know we've seen it before, but I mean Superman is fucking exhausted. He's just like, huh, huh. But then all of a sudden, guess who shows up? Darkseid. Oh yeah, that's
freaking
exactly who
dark.
you want to see when you're fucking like, I finally got that done. I got that done. Okay, I think we're good. And then the guy that you were fearing that's gonna show up shows up.
Oh god. And dude then, like, omega beams his ass,
Oh yeah. It's like, Jesus Christ. It's like
and
he
his
was just kind of,
costume is tore up, and I love the fact that Darkseid goes, "I could kill you right now,
yeah.
but I want you to watch your work." Like, it's like that because you're watching Darkseid, he's zapping with omega beams, it's like, "Oh, no, he could totally just vaporize Superman right now if he wanted to."
But
Like,
that wouldn't be satisfactory to Darkseid. He's like, no, I'm here to yeah, I'll eventually kill him, but I want him to suffer before that. Just like any good villain, where it's like, yep, 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 I got you right now. Like, I could easily just like, I got you. Hold on, I could just easily just wipe you out. But you're gonna witness me taking over your little world that you fell in love with. And it's like, yeah, that's Darkseid for you. He's just like, yeah, he's gonna be cocky
he's a
like that.
sadistic little fucker. Let's
Yeah,
be
he's an
honest.
asshole. I mean, it's Darkseid. It's in the name. And yeah, so and I love his line. It says, "If you won't be my no, who says it? If you won't be my knight, you will be my
My
pawn."
pawn,
That he says
yes.
that to Superman, right?
He does say that
Yeah,
to Superman,
yeah, because
as he's, like,
oh, that's
Omega
right.
beaming his ass,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, because I totally forgot that because he also tries to bargain with Superman. He
Yes,
goes,
he does.
"Hey, you know what? I could just, you could just join me and I could show you power that you have never seen before. Like you're only like a little, you have some power, sure."
But
Yeah.
I'm a god, let's be serious,
But I'm
it's
like, you haven't seen real power yet. And, my ass is going on taking over worlds here. So, yeah. So he basically is just like, yeah. And then Superman, of course, is like, no, I'm not going to do that. And so, yeah, he says that awesome line is like, if you're not going to be my knight, you
you
will
will
be
be
my
my
pawn.
pawn.
I was like, oh,
Ugh.
so good. So good. And then, of course, we have, Maggie. Remember, Maggie's still in the hospital. And, Maggie being Maggie, she's just like, I got to get down here. And of course, her partner, which we've already established that we talked about in the last episode, is, she's
Oh,
like,
there, cow
whoa.
whoa there, cowgirl.
Yeah. She's like, whoa, what are you thinking here? Like, you're just going to join this crazy battle when you're like, you have a serious injury to the head. You're not healthy enough. But I mean, that's Maggie for you. I
That is
mean,
Maggie, yes.
yes. So she wants to join the fight, but yeah, she can't. She can't. And then, Turpin, of course, is just he's there. He's there with the fight. I mean, we're like right there in the middle of Metropolis,
The
just taking
freaking
up
war
everything.
zone.
Crazy.
Oh my god. And then, but there is something when that giant ass tank, like the size of a freaking kaiju, just like comes like rolling through the city.
Yeah. It's like, what the hell is it? I mean, it stops everybody in their tracks. Like, what the hell is this thing? And it's like, and I mean, it's a big, huge like tank. Almost looks like a train, like the front of a train, like even. It's like a mixture. I was like looking at it. I was like, man, it looks like the front part of a train, even, but it's like built like a tank, and it just comes. And then of course Superman. I
Superman's
mean,
the hood ornament. So,
it's part of the thumbnail. I mean, it's Mad Max Fury Road. It's freaking put him on there. Let's string him up. There he is, torn up. And I love it. I always love it when we have superhero costumes that are when the hero's gone through the fucking thick of it.
and he's
And
like torn. I mean, I always think about like, obviously Death of Superman, like
yeah.
what he looks
Oh
like at
yeah.
the end of that fight with Doomsday.
Fuck yeah. So
Uh,
good. And then of course you have him just latched in there and he's just beat the shit. Everybody's just like shocked. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, just imagine just in the middle of this war zone, and you have Turpin, you have everybody, you have the whole world watching this now, and even
and
Lois.
Darkseid delivers like the monologue to end all
Oh
monologues.
yeah, he does. But I mean, just imagine them seeing Superman just like that. Your savior. I mean, the savior, the protector of the world, just totally just done. You're like, I mean, imagine just seeing that, and you're like, okay, we're fucked. We're fucked.
And that's all part of Darkseid's plan. It's like we're
Yeah.
going to mortally, psychically crush them. Because remember what Mother Box told us in part one is that Darkseid psychically feeds off the misery of his slaves.
Uh-huh.
And so he's priming the pump here. He's marinating, you know, the earth in the juices of their despair as he's got Superman in shambles strapped to the front of his tank. He's delivering like this amazing badass evil monologue. I mean, we talk about monologuing. This is a monologue. Even Lex Luthor is watching it on TV and being like, damn,
Yeah.
Like
I love how like because at the same time you're kind of going like, all right, where's everybody at? Where's Lex at? And he's just at his desk in his office, just kind of going like, yeah, I'm not being. He's like, I'm no part of this. I'm like, fuck. He's like, fuck that. He's just watching, just like,
this, you can see this face going, well, this sucks.
yeah. It's like, It's like, what is my move here? I don't have a fucking move here. This is just a lose lose. So I'm gonna stay out of it. It's like,
And then right when Darkseid gets to the epic climax of this amazing monologue, you know, Turpin basically comes in with like the animated equivalent of "suck these nuts."
yes, pretty much. Turpin is just talking shit. We got Jimmy who's like taking pictures of the whole thing, and Turpin literally like saves Jimmy by punching out a fucking parademon. It's like nice.
God. And he just starts talking shit and
Yeah.
riling the crowd up and
Yeah.
being like, no, and like they start throwing cans and rocks and crap.
Oh yeah, he calls the parademons overgrown parakeets. I love that.
I
That's
love
a
it.
funny line. Good line. Great line. And then yeah, I mean that he was talking about this was actually before like all that happened. But yeah, of course he talks about and we see everybody, and then of course you know, like when people are like fighting back against him and like Turpin's leading that. I mean, like even Superman's like, yeah, you see what's happening here? Like, us Earthlings or these Earth, people on Earth, humans, they don't take kindly to dictators, and it's like, yeah,
Yep. And then Turpin gets a hold of like one of those energy spears from one of the parademons and like does like a track and field,
yeah. And then of course we get a fight between, and then yeah, he breaks Superman out. Superman gets out, gets out of the, out of the other one, and then of course takes on Calibac, and of course Calibac sucks because he sucks. He can't take on Superman. He can't take on Superman. But yeah. So let's. This is where we're gonna have to join because there's just so much.
It's so much going on. I mean,
So much
seriously.
going on, and they're cheering Superman. And here we go, right here. Yeah,
That's one for the home team.
that's one for the home team.
team. Yeah, there you go, Turpin.
Yeah,
Let's finish it.
I love that.
Oh.
This world dies now.
Oh,
Boom.
on your left. Sorry, it's reminding me of Avengers.
Portals, yeah.
Yeah, we got the new Genesis showing up right here. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to pause, huh?
Oh yeah, because we're gonna have a Kirby quiz.
Yeah. I love the fucking score right here.
Oh, the score is
Darkseid.
beautiful.
Our Father has decreed this planet is under his protection. Any further aggression will breach.
Okay, let's get started. Who do we have?
So we got Big Bardo right here, right?
Yes, we do. We got Big Barda.
Okay. I don't know who this is. That's not Mantis, right? No, Mantis
that's Metron.
Metron. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
in the in his oh god, the chair. I'm such a bad fan right now. I cannot remember the name of Metron's chair, but yes.
We got
going.
Okay. Of course, we got Light Ray. Sorry,
Light Ray. Yes,
Light Ray.
Light
I was
Ray.
like, wait. This is this guy right here, Black Racer.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. And then of course we got Mr. Miracle. He's very easy to.
Yes.
An act of war.
And then this is Mantis.
No.
Who is that?
Forager.
Okay. Jesus Christ. I was trying my best and I was trying not to cheat. I was trying to like remember who I can remember out of this group right here. Okay.
Hey,
so
you did really well.
Okay.
You got what? You got 4 out of 6? Hold on, let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, you got 4 out of 6.
Hey, that's a good passing grade.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get this right here. And I love it how it's like the these guys in the background, they kept them all the same color, but they wanted to make sure that nerds like us recognize
all the new Genesis people. Which it's so funny because this is literally the definition of Deus Ex Machina. I swear. Because literally, if for those of you who aren't familiar with it, Deus Ex Machina was in the Greek tragedies when a pulley system or something, literally the gods would, Deus Ex Machina means God in the machine. because a god would descend onto the stage and like solve the hero's problems. So literally we have boom tubes opening and New Genesian gods literally showing up to save everybody's ass. It's like, this is literally the definition of Deus Ex Machina. And so it's in my notes, it says Deus Ex Machina, and then I literally have all the New Genesis gods written underneath it, because I was just like, oh yeah, Dave is getting a quiz later.
Thank you. Hey, 4 out of 6 ain't bad. But yeah, that's a cool shot right there. I love that shot.
Well, as
Really.
Meatloaf said, if you want to divide it, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
And be considered an act of war against New Genesis itself.
Yeah, I love that shot right there. Just Darkseid, of course, in his stance that he is. He got
Oh,
Superman.
dude,
down
that's
there.
such a great stance. It's like,
Oh yeah, I mean, it's an evil stance. There's just something about it. When you see a villain do that whole thing, it's like, yeah,
the hands behind his back, he don't give
Yeah.
a shit. You know, it's just like, it's so amazing.
so good. Then of course
I love all the
everybody.
cameras.
Yeah.
Darkseid.
It is good to see you after all these years, my son.
My son.
I've observed your boldness and ferocity for some time.
Boldness and
Not
ferocity,
without
undue pride.
Though you're misguided in your loyalty, I won't quibble over this insignificant speck in the universe. I would hate to spoil our reunion with bloodshed.
Then it's like, oh yeah, okay, so Darkseid's gonna
Return.
retreat.
Well,
Okay.
he kind of has to, because it's
Yeah.
like, because he basically just said, you know,
Go on, you mangy
oh god,
buzzards,
Turpin.
and
Yeah.
don't come back.
Then it's like, okay,
Savor your
what's
moment
this?
of triumph, Superman.
What?
Remember, victory has its price.
Darkseid's such a petty
No,
fuck.
no.
Oh, I remember watching this,
Oh,
dude. Like, that's everyone's reaction when we watched it.
God, look at that, and that smirk. Oh.
Murderer.
And then Superman's like, murder! And then Superman loses it. Loses it.
Dude, this scene.
God, so good. And Lois is like, oh god.
I love how Ryan's just like, I get it.
He's like, yeah, I get it. Just let him be. Let him be. And then all Metropolis is feeling it. Man.
Because this
So
is like,
intense.
the death of Turpin's like a major defeat for Superman. Like,
Totally is.
I'm sorry.
It totally is, because
okay,
I mean, especially
Hold
when
on.
they were butting heads. What?
okay, this is good. We got, okay, pause.
Okay, there's gonna be more people in here, and I'm like, okay, right?
Oh god, yes.
Okay.
Oh,
You're gonna have
God,
to
yes.
tell me, because I was trying. I'll fail this test right here.
Okay, so pause. So already start and pay attention to the fact that, you know, the rabbi, it's a Jewish funeral.
Okay.
Okay, because Kirby was Jewish.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. Makes sense.
okay, so there are so many freaking cameos in the Mourners. Like, you might as well just hit pause, play,
Okay.
so we can talk about this.
Okay. I mean, do these two? Anybody?
Oh, these are characters from our show.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, character from the show.
And stop
Okay.
right there over Lois's left shoulder. No, her left,
Right here.
right there.
Who's that?
Bruce Timm.
Jesus. Oh wow, that's hilarious.
Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Pause.
This is somebody right here, right?
Yes, it is.
Who is that?
Who's it look like?
I mean, I was like, is that Commissioner Gordon? But I don't know. It's not Commissioner Gordon. Who is that?
Stanley.
Stanley. Oh, wow. This guy is nobody?
That guy's nobody.
Okay.
Okay. Pause.
Who's the guy with the eye patch?
Who do you think?
I'm totally blanking. I saw the eye patch. I'm like, that's somebody.
It's Nick Fury.
So see, my mind did not go to Marvel characters.
Okay, hold on. Okay, go over to the left. Do your cursor over to the left.
This guy.
That's Orion.
Yeah.
Okay, next to him, right there, Scott Free. That's Mr. Miracle. If you had caught it, okay, pause. Okay, So who do you think's in front of Nick Fury?
Is that Light Ray?
No.
Who is that?
Okay, look at the three people next to each other.
Dude, I'm blanking.
Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm. It's the Fantastic Four.
It's ridiculous. Okay, that's ridiculous. Holy shit. I was not thinking Marvel characters on this whole.
Oh, and I have a whole story to tell. Like, we're not done yet. Like, this is the whole thing. We're gonna keep going, by the way.
Like, oh my god.
You gotta remember who created all these fuckers.
Yeah, I know, Kirby, but I just didn't think that they would be using Marvel characters in this. Holy shit.
Okay, pause. Okay, right here on the left. No, oh, sorry, my right. On the left side of the screen.
This dude.
No. Yeah, no,
guy.
over here. This dude. And that dude. Those two.
Okay. Who are they?
Alex Ross and his dad, Norman Ross.
Wow. So this guy's nobody and she's nobody, really?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, keep going. Pause. Okay. The problem is it moves so fast. Hold on. Press play again. Okay, keep going. You're basically going to have to do this. Stop. Okay. Go back. No, you went too far.
Oh, shit.
Because you have to get like that, the crossfade. That's the problem. Is some of these characters are hiding in the crossfade. So do that again. Yeah. Because right here, over next to Orion. Okay, keep going slightly. Keep going a little bit more. Keep going a little bit more. Okay, stop right there.
This guy?
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Who's that?
Tony Stark. Okay.
Wow.
Look at his mustache. You can see the mustache.
Yeah, I totally get it now.
Okay. Now, right over here, okay, in the middle, move your cursor to right there. That's Mark Evanier that we've talked about, the assistant to Kirby who wrote. And then move over here. There's a blonde guy over here. Move your cursor.
This
right
one?
There. Yeah.
Who's that?
No, well, you have to go back to where you can see him a little bit better. Pause. Yeah, that blonde guy right there. Who do you think it is?
I don't know.
It's Steve Rogers.
Ah, of course it is. Why would I should have thought. Wow. That is hilarious.
Yeah. And there was even more, like over next to Orion's shoulder, because it moves so fast. Big Barda's there next to Orion. If you go to the Krypton Companion, the original storyboards for this entire sequence, because there's even more people who are planned to be in there. Commandy's in there, like you miss it in some of the transitions. Paul Dini's in there. You can catch Alan Burnett really quickly at one point, but the problem is it's all these crossfades.
Yeah. God, that's so cool.
Yeah, keep going. Let's see. I think once you get to this sequence, once you get to that sequence, you're done with all the cameos.
Okay.
But here's why. Okay. We'll finish off the episode and then I can talk about what happened.
That's a good shot. Anyways.
It's a great shot. Okay. So here's the deal. Jack Kirby, of course, who created all the Fourth World, died on February 6th, 1994. Part 1 of this two-parter aired on February 7th, 1998. So a day after the 4-year anniversary of Kirby's death.
Wow.
Part 2 aired on February 14th, 1998. After the initial airing of this episode, this sequence was recut and reanimated, and all those cameos were removed.
Wow.
No one talked about no. Now, like you said, though, I was expecting to see Marvel characters, and we're thinking that there was probably like some like behind the scenes like rights thing, possibly. about all these characters that Kirby created, but they weren't DC, they were Marvel, and they're showing up in this funeral sequence. But you can actually, if you go to the Wikipedia page for Superman the Animated Series, you can actually see one of the shots of like Nick Fury and the Fantastic Four, and then you can see a shot of what it looked like re-edited, because it looked this way for the initial airing. For all reruns, it was the altered funeral sequence. It was paced differently.
Wow.
I don't even remember the Hebrew happening. And it was also this way on the DVD release. But in 2021, when the HD remaster of Superman the Animated Series was put on HBO Max, it was restored to the original funeral sequence, and then when the Blu-ray came out, it had it. So basically, when they went and did the HD remasters of Superman the Animated Series, that's when they finally restored the original funeral sequence. So if anyone's watched this episode and is watching along at home, and you're watching it on the DVD, you're not going to see these people.
Wow.
But if you're watching it on Max or on your the Blu-ray box set, you'll get these original Kirby cameos for the funeral, because clearly the death of Turpin was a dedication to, the passing of Jack Kirby.
Fucking yeah. Wow. I'm like blown away. I've never been this blown away since we've been doing this fucking thing. I love it, because when you told me like, oh yeah, there's going to be a lot of I was like, all right. And I totally understood it when it came to the New Gods. Like, when they were showing up, I'm like, oh yeah, this must be it. But then when I saw this funeral sequence, and I was like, I don't really remember this. I mean, I remember Turpin dying, but I don't remember the funeral sequence. And as soon as I saw eye patch, I was like, okay, you don't just put an eye patch. You don't just put an eye patch on somebody. And I just was like, that's not Slade. Is that Slade? I mean, I'm thinking DC characters. I'm like, who's got a fucking eye patch? Fucking Nick Fury. Like
And the Fantastic Four.
Yeah. And fucking Tony Stark and Steve. Oh, man.
Because Jack Kirby co-created all those people with Stan Lee.
That's so freaking crazy. Wow.
And then, of course, let's hit play again, because I want to play through the rest of the episode. Because then,
God damn, look at this, just
in the end,
so good.
The world didn't really need a Superman. Just a brave one.
Oh God, I choked. I'm not gonna lie, I choked up watching the episode.
I'm choking up right now. Earth's greatest hero. And that shot right there, looking
and
great.
Then pause it for a second. So when we talked about the edited ending for the DVD and for the reruns, this is where the episode ends. But as you'll see when you hit play, there's more to the episode.
Not the end.
Not the end. And then his dedication to Jack Kirby got removed from the DVD and the, reruns.
Jeez.
But that was the point, with it. This was for Kirby. And of course, the phrase "Long live the King," because that was Jack Kirby's nickname, Jack the King Kirby, the King of Comics is what they would call him. So that whole idea of this episode is dedicated to the memory of Jack Kirby, long live the King. Because once again, this episode aired, part one aired to the day after the 4-year anniversary of Kirby's passing.
Dude, I have goosebumps.
I know, right?
I have fucking goosebumps. I was not expecting this level of like crazy
Kirby love,
Easter eggs and shit that are in this. Holy shit.
This episode was designed as their memorial to Jack Kirby.
Man.
Yeah. And
wow.
it's crazy to me to think that for so long, no one got to see this because we got stuck with the edited version. And it wasn't until this HD remaster on Max and Blu-ray that allowed us to see the original unaltered version of the funeral sequence.
Oh, man. So crazy, because just revisiting, like I said, I remember Turpin getting zapped.
Yep.
But I don't remember, like, I was like not thinking anything when it comes to this. But like I said, when I saw the eye patch, I went, yeah, there's something here. I don't know what the fuck's going on. And I knew there was some fuckery going on. I'm so glad. Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Wow, man. I wish I still had some wine left. I'd put my glass up and be like, to Kirby.
Yeah,
Because, man,
if I speculated, I'm really curious because there was that Supreme Court case where Kirby's estate
yeah.
basically was taking Marvel to, like, it went all the way up to Supreme Court about the rights for all of Kirby's creations. And I wonder if something in the language of that because I think it got settled. I can't remember exactly how the Kirby Supreme Court case ended. I remember Kirby didn't win, I think, but I wonder if something happened during that process that allowed this restored version of the original funeral sequence to be what got released when the HD remaster happened. Or if they just went to the HD remaster and they just went, fuck it. It's
Well,
like,
I mean,
no.
it's not like there's any symbols or anything like that. You're just talking. I mean, nobody would. Again, I'm watching this going, right. I don't know. There's something interesting going on here, but you don't think about it because it's not like you can trademark an eye patch or a mustache or a hair color.
Right.
You can't do that. So it's like you can easily just go, hey, let's put them in there. And I'm like, so when you were saying all that, I'm like, I would not even thought of that. But at the same time, it's like if they're not in their costumes, you can easily do it because the costumes total, you can't do that.
No.
But if you just did there like, oh yeah, this is just people, there's a dude with an eye patch. There's this dude that has this mustache. There's a dude that has his hair. There's this,
family that seems to be standing right next to each
yeah,
other.
it's like, but they couldn't have like the thing just standing there, of course, but wow, that is this just blew my fucking mind tonight.
Right, because the death of Turpin is a metaphor for the death of Kirby. So having all his
cool.
Wow.
God damn.
Once again, remember, Turpin was drawn to look like Kirby.
Yeah.
You've killed Kirby. Kirby dies in this animated universe.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's
Man,
layers, man.
That is so cool. This is why we love the DCAU, folks. This is why we love it right here. Stuff like this, man. And hopefully everybody just like had their minds blown just like mine in real time right now with all this information. I'm trying to process. I'm like, geez.
You'd not believe how many times I was like, pause, rewind, play, pause, rewind, play, pause. Deck was like, Daddy, just watch the episode. No, I can't. I was like, I was gonna nail down.
Daddy's working.
Daddy's working.
That's so cool, man. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm gonna be processing that a little bit after we're done here. Oh my God. But we do have another episode next week, and what is that episode?
We're back in Gotham City, folks.
What do we got?
Oh, we're gonna watch Joker's Millions.
Ooh, okay. The name sounds familiar, but I'm trying to remember exactly what happened.
Yeah, it's not a great episode in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember it, but I remember
it is
the
based on a
title.
comic. I'm probably going to reread the issue, and I'll bring that information with me, for next week's episode. But yeah, we're going back to Gotham City. We're going back to season 3 of Batman the Animated Series. But yeah, it's the episode Joker's Millions.
Okay, Joker's Millions. There you go, guys. We're back at Gotham. I mean, this is a good way to just like leave Metropolis for a bit because there's just so much to process with this episode. Whew.
Yeah.
I did not expect this much, but so fucking glad that there was this much because I'm like, wow, that's just so freaking cool. I might have to do. I mean, I didn't do a clip this last week because I just didn't fit the time. But man, we're probably gonna have to do a couple of clips for this one because people have to know.
We must spread the word.
Yes, because I was like, what? Oh my God, I'm gonna have to do a couple of clips just like talking about this because that's just so cool. It's so freaking cool.
I love it. I love this episode so much. And
yeah,
I was so glad to be like, because I knew about the alterations, and I wanted to make sure as I was watching it today, because I watched it on Max. Because for prepping for the show, I tend to watch it on Max. I got the Blu-ray, but
Yeah.
I wanted to see, because I knew you'd be using Max to play it for
Yeah.
the stream. And so I was like, yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Kind of love it. So there you go, guys. Joker's Millions next week. We'll be back in Gotham, and we'll be here, of course, on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Central time. And we'll have some fun with that one. I mean, yeah, it'll probably just be one of those. Yeah, this is an episode.
This is an episode. Yeah.
An episode of something. Maybe we'll find something within it. And like you said, it's based off some kind of source material. So, we'll get some knowledge out of it at least. But man, after this one,
we need a moment. We need to...
Yeah, seriously. Jeez, I need a cigarette after all that. My gosh, just an orgy of fucking wow. Crazy. But thank you guys, of course, for spending some time with us. And yeah, this one was a great second parter for sure.
Yes.
Go ahead, Scott. Plug away.
Of course, you can find me on Twitter X at ScottDC27, on Instagram at McMerlin, and on Vero at Scott McClellan. You can find my podcast, the DC Squadcast, wherever podcasts can be found. We're also on Vero, Facebook, and YouTube, with the entire network of shows at squadcastmedia.com.
There it is. All right, guys. We'll see you Friday on the Vox stream. Like I said, I got I forgot what's his name that did the I'm bad with names. With Luke Harris. That's what his name is. Luke Harris is going to be on the Vox stream this Friday talking about his fan film that he made, the pilot of a fan film that he wanted to make, Red Sun Genesis, which, geez, he poured in some budget into that and did a very good job. So we'll be talking with him, and then of course we'll have the panel and doing all the stuff, talking about everything. So we'll see you guys on Friday. Hit that like, thumbs up, and obviously on DC Fan-imated, we'll see you next week for Joker's Millions. And go ahead and process what you just heard here tonight of what was happening in this episode. Jeez, minds blown everywhere. All right, guys, we love you. We'll talk to you later.